Heidi, Heidi, ho. God, before I even start talking, I can't talk. So, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Patricia. Great to see you. Miss Pagan, I'm so proud of you. She says, I'm proud of myself today. Not only have I been productive, but I managed to work through an emotional craving this morning and kept to my plan. Congratulations. It's so good. Good to see you guys. I just literally, this morning is jam packed with stuff for me to do. So, I'm a minute late because I needed to find that bloody post I made yesterday in the Facebook group where I'm asking if you have any questions, and I managed to find it. So we have some questions that I'm going to answer. And obviously, you can post your questions in the Facebook group as well. And just do your thing. You are free to chat however much you like. I like when you're chatting. I will read it, but maybe not loud. So, having said that, because I have another coaching call right after this. And then I have the challenge training right after that. I'm going to have to finish a few minutes early today, but we shall get through all the questions anyway. I'm going to be super efficient. So let's do this thing. Let's see if I can bring that up on the screen. If I can share the screen. And don't just bear with me. This seems very difficult today. This is strange. I can't find the window. You know what? I'm just going to read the question because I can't be fucked with this. It's too much trouble. Everything seems to be like piling up, which is fine because it's fun, but when everything happens at once, I'm getting confused. So I'm going to read this. This one's from Anne in the Facebook group. She says, Hello, Pim. My question is how to let the cravings be when I'm totally in it. I mean that in the afternoon, I am often possessed by an urge to binge, and I am like another person with a very difficult time to see the cravings because I am, at this moment, the craving. Any tips to make a little distance with this? And I know that Anne is in the challenge right now, so we are going to do this on day 4 and 5. So you will get to practice this. But literally what we're doing is that we need to bring some awareness. The first step is always to become aware of what's happening. So when you have this craving, can you bring that awareness into you and see what is happening? Like, see what's going on in your brain. What are you thinking? And then just be aware of what's happening in your body. What's the sensations that you are having in your body while you're feeling this way? I know this feeling of feeling like you're possessed by something, and it's almost like your body's just like it has to move because it's so uncomfortable when it's not moving. But that's just sensations in your body. It doesn't mean that you have to go and eat. So what we do is literally you observe what is happening in your body from an outside perspective. So you look at it, okay, this is how I feel. I salivate, I get tension in my jaw, and then I got tension all the way down where the food would not normally travel. And it's kind of buzzing, and you just keep describing it to yourself. And what helps a lot to just emotionally disconnect from that craving is to just put it down on a piece of paper or something. Just write it down. And then you can read it back and you can see, like, okay, there's tension in my jaw and I salivate and there's buzzing and tension the whole way here. What does that mean? It doesn't mean that I have to go and eat. So just to emotionally disconnect is a really good thing to do if you want to be able to kind of control it. You are not the craving. The craving manifests in your body as a sensation or several sensations. That's all it is. Because we get very dramatic about this in our heads. It's like, oh my God, I am possessed and it's taking over my body. And of course, if you're in that state of mind, it's going to be very hard to get out of it. So we need to take a step back, just look at it as the scientist, be curious about it. Like, why would my body react this way? Salivation is because I anticipate the food. The tension is probably related to that. And then I know that the food is going to travel the whole way down here. That's probably why I feel in those areas. Because other emotions feel differently. And I feel them in different parts of my body. Often it has to do with my core, but they do feel different. Let's see. So Jeremy says, my skin is looking better with each passing week, but there are times it's very itchy. My skin isn't dry. Could this be another form of oxalate dumping? Yes, it absolutely could be. It could also be some food sensitivity. If you have been really good with your diet for a bit and then you reintroduce some food that you're sensitive to that you haven't reacted to before, that could be it as well. But absolutely. Or a histamine reaction if you're eating, say, a lot of aged meat and maybe, I don't know, sauerkraut or something. There's a lot of histamines in that. That could be it as well. Right, so I'm not going to show you anything there. I'm going to go back to you guys. Now, let's have a look at the comments and if you have any questions. Hi, Steph. Driving. The homework got deep. The homework is supposed to get deep. It's awesome. When you go deep and when you feel like, so Steph is in the challenge, when you go deep and you feel like you're really connecting with that reason, that's when it gets exciting. At least I think so, because that's when you can really connect to yourself and find that motivation to just move forward. You find the reason for why you're doing pretty much anything. It's awesome. Hola, hola from San Antonio. Hello, Maria. How are you doing? Yes, the carnival lion is here. Hey, you should find your way into the Facebook group for the challenge so you can watch the videos. Just saying. JB, I think this is Jeremy. I think my last craving was probably last Thursday. I feel very calm right now. Isn't it beautiful? Like, it is so nice when you get that calm in your head, like when the cravings are just quiet. That's when you can start focusing on other things and get other things done in your life that actually matter. Because eating ice cream and pizza and God knows what, it's not very exciting, not for very long. Cecile, hello. Oh, a beautiful cue. Thank you. Do most people find that fasting helps to control the cravings and break bad habits? I think so. I think with the fasting, it does a few things. First of all, if you are having cravings because you have like insulin and blood sugar swings, that's going to go away. Having said that, if the blood sugar goes very low, you might just get like ravenously hungry and hangry and all of the things. But I don't think that happens for most people. Um, and the second thing is the mindset. Like when you're fasting, you don't even entertain the idea of eating anything else. It's just off table, like off limits. We're not eating anything else, so we don't even think about it. Whereas if we are doing a carnivore diet, for example, we're putting things in our mouths. So it's like, well, if I'm having a few carbs, it doesn't really matter that much. So we start entertaining the idea of putting something in our mouths, which feeds that craving. So it's just a mind shift state. It's like now I don't entertain the idea of putting that stuff in my mouth at all. It's like I am fasting, but I'm not fasting. I just have a very clear idea of the foods that are allowed on my diet, like the foods that I go to, and which ones aren't. And the ones that aren't are all the processed crap. And I just don't even think about it. It's not an option. I don't eat those things. I identify as a person who do not eat those things. I don't touch them. Um, trying to look for, I've showed them before. I have like a stupid pack of jelly beans laying around on my desk, and they're not even tempting. Like things that people send me when I order stuff online. It just comes with chocolate and jelly beans and God knows. And those things are just laying around my house now. That would never have happened before. Because I would be like, oh, there are some jelly beans. I may as well just eat them. It's just four of them. It's not a problem. I'll just have them. And now they're just laying here, and I'm like, they have pretty colors. That's all. I'm not tempted at all. So I said I might eat the black one for New Year's, and I didn't. I didn't really feel for it, so I didn't. Just unnecessary sugar. Yes, I didn't know until I asked. Pretty cool and mind blowing, isn't it? I've done that exercise several times because we usually arrive at a very similar place, but we can get new realizations about our thought process and what's actually important to us when we do it. So if you have like two things that you feel are important to you, you can do like this exercise with both of them and just see where your brain is leading you. It's kind of interesting if you have the time. Carnivore cat. I got stuck at work last night. All roads were closed and oh god, and had to eat cafeteria food. Zero low carb was impossible. Luckily breakfast was bacon and eggs, but probably cooked in seed oils. Eee. Okay. I mean, there are options. I don't know what options you had, but we can always fast as well. Or maybe you could have found like a supermarket, but really if that's not possible, it's like this is a one-off. This doesn't mean anything. It's not a big deal because this was very and were very special circumstances. And then we can just move on and do whatever we normally do. It's not a problem. Yes, Steph, I feel the same way with food. It's really nice to feel that way. And I'm trying to get my head into feeling that way about a lot of other things. And some things are quicker than other things. Doesn't matter. I'm going to keep doing it because it's so much fun when you get there. I feel like you are in control. Morning, Jim. Good to see you. Let's see. After I was done digesting my cravings, let's see. Yes, I am live in the Facebook group as well. Just checking. But maybe I forgot to do that. My cravings this morning, I made eggs and sausage instead of this sugary coffee drink I wanted and continued with my plan to have a small glass of orange juice. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's awesome. Like, whatever you decide, if you have a plan to have a small glass of orange juice, that is not a problem as far as I'm concerned. What is a problem is you plan to not have it and then you have it, because then you give in to the craving and you kind of feed that beast. It's not actually, okay, listen to what I'm saying. It's not the food that is the problem, it's your brain that is the problem right now. The food is a problem physiologically, but not for the addiction itself, because even if you're eating a higher carb diet, you can get control over this. It's just going to be a little bit harder because of the hormonal component that plays in there, but it's still entirely possible. So orange juice isn't the best food, obviously. Doesn't matter. What you did now, you're still working on building up like trust in yourself, changing that the brain wiring. Perfect. I have no problems with that. I also have 3 days dinner planned in my planner for this week. The homework in the group hit me hard this morning. Oh, well, it sounds like you're doing the right thing. I have itchy hairs. When you had FAQ with Bart, he mentioned if someone severely underweight, they may need to add carbs initially. Which ones would you and he be suggesting? I would go for some sort of starch. Um, So I have been doing some experimenting and checking my blood sugar. So I like to do sweet potato because I thought I was oxalate dumping. So I got some oxalates in to stop the dumping. Now that wasn't what was happening. And I like sweet potatoes, the red ones with white flesh. The problem is that my blood sugar is going bananas when I'm eating sweet potatoes. Even when it's just 30 grams of carbs, it's just going sky high. If I do this with rice, my blood sugar is not going up that high. And there are no oxalates to speak of in rice. So rice will probably be a really good thing to do. But you can literally do any sort of starchy, like unprocessed food is what I would choose. And I would try to limit, well, yeah, I will probably try to limit it to once a day because you don't want to spike your insulin like that too often. You don't want to keep it high for that long. So, like, what's it called? Like plantain, like or unripe bananas. Anything that isn't too sugary would probably be good. So anything starchy that you like, but I'm trying to think what I've tried. I try to do beetroots as well for the oxalates, but they just don't contain enough carbs for me to get enough when I'm trying to get about 30 grams because I have to eat a lot of um, beetroot to get up to that level. So it doesn't really work. But I would probably fried rice. I like fried rice, but if you like rice, it's really good. So sorry, I'm not very, my brain is like trying to think of good carbs, but I would just go to something that is actually natural, like a real food, not anything processed. And I don't really think it matters if all you want to do is just kind of pack on some weight. But I wouldn't want to be doing that for too long because even if you want to pack on weight, we don't want to mess up our hormones. So you don't want to do like 24/7 carb eating and just fuck up your blood sugar basically. Okay. Second day on no coffee for me, drinking a lot more water. See? You guys are smashing it. Bummed me out, was all gung ho to start the zero carb again. Well, it doesn't matter. You start today. We just delay. I had a client yesterday who was a bit upset about something. And I'm like, you know how to do this. There's no reason to like snowball yourself into a mindset of just like despair and being frustrated and angry and all of those things, even if it's just for a few hours. It's like all this means, Kat, is that you're delayed 24 hours. Who cares? Doesn't matter. What matters is that you can get your mind in the right space to do this. And if you're gonna be like bummed out and oh no, this happened and that shouldn't have happened, you're not gonna be in the right mind space to do it. So just like accept reality for what reality is, the way that we would accept cravings for what they are, and keep doing it because you know how to do this. You've done it before. You can do it again. Just keep going and focus on the things that you do want in your life, which is zero carb. Don't focus on the things that went wrong because that will just make more things go wrong. Yep, same with rice too. Okay, that's cool. I find different types of squashes work well for me as long as you cook out the lectins. Yeah, that might do it. I just don't like them much, so I wouldn't. I mean, I can't tell you what my blood sugar is doing, and they're usually fairly low carb as well. So you might have to eat a bunch of them to get enough of that. We're getting a bit thin on the questions. We need Bazoo because he always has like a billion questions for me. Okay, so do you guys have any more questions? Otherwise, I'm going to finish really early. And yeah, drink some coffee meanwhile. Yeah, something I thought about. For those of you who are in the challenge, um, Peter is setting up I shouldn't say support group, but a group that goes where you can just join and for the community and just have a chat amongst yourselves an hour before I go live, which means that it will be in 40 minutes. And feel free to join that one. I think that's a really, really good initiative, and I'm really grateful that he's setting that up because we all love like connecting with each other. But if you want that on an ongoing basis and you're not in the normal Facebook group called Life Beyond Cravings for Kick-Ass Keto Wars, join that group because we have a Zoom hangout every weekend. It's been growing quickly the last few weeks, so there are a lot of people in there, but if we get too many, we will sort that. We will make it a good experience for everyone who's there. So if you want to just hang out in a community of like-minded people, join the Facebook group so that you will get the invite to the Zoom meeting. And it happens every Saturday in the US, Sunday in New Zealand and Australia. Very early in Australia, unfortunately, because that's when I have time to do it at 8 a.m. New Zealand time, which is 2 p.m. EST. So I just wanted to put that out there if you want that support ongoingly. And we talk about anything in this. You can come, you can talk about, if you're angry about something, or we can talk about cats or liquid carnivore food or whatever. Like we just talk about whatever pops up in our minds. So it's kind of fun. Sometimes I get some good laughs out of that. Thank you. Would oats or black beans help as they also lowers LDL? I think oats could probably be okay. I mean, they have their own sort of gluten, so it's not ideal, but they are a lot better than, wheat. I wouldn't do beans because beans have a lot of lectins and shit in them, so I just wouldn't do beans personally. But that's up to you. If you think that they're gonna help you, feel free to do beans. Mm, sorry, no more questions. That's okay. I can't force you to have questions. What time is challenge live? That is in 1 hour and 40 minutes. So I have like one thing after another all morning. And I'm trying to get into the group and see more of the homework before then, but that's not going to happen. So whoever I haven't replied to yesterday will have to wait until after the training. Good snack suggestions or muscle through them. I have this on my desk even. Just because I order them. I don't snack a lot, but I had some for breakfast yesterday and now they're just sitting here. I'm not a proponent of snacking for several reasons because it builds really bad habits. If you go and snack all the time, it's like this grazing mentality and you're just going to want to go and do it. And you're feeding the addiction in a different way. So this is a type of addiction swap, I think. If you quit the carbs and then you're like, for the first week, if you just like eat as much as you like, whenever you like, that is fine. I think that's a good strategy because it makes it easier in the beginning. But then we need to sort of get a hold of that because we don't want to go and eat, even if it's good foods, 24/7 and just constantly put things in our mouths because then we're going to start obsessing about food in general rather than just obsessing about carbs. So I very rarely snack. As I said, I had these for breakfast. Like I had my egg coffee and I had some pork crackling. And yesterday I didn't actually have any after dinner, but if I do, often I have my dinner and then I might have the snack right after. So it's kind of like part of the meal rather than being interrupting my fasting periods between the meals. And this will also help with your hormonal health and getting your blood sugar under control and like letting the system just rest and digest and have a reset in between the meals, I think is very important. So when we eat all the time, even if these aren't really stimulating a lot of insulin release, etc., there is some of that going on. And your body is getting the signals that it need to digest things. And when you're digesting, you're always in a metabolic state as well. So you're not kind of breaking down and using like body fat if you want to get rid of some of that or whatever. So for someone who wants to gain a lot of weight, yeah, you can absolutely eat 6 times per day, but I wouldn't eat carbs 6 times per day just because of that. But you can absolutely eat more often. But I don't think that's a good strategy for long-term health, no matter what you're eating. So to answer your question, like snack suggestions, I would just go to any food that is allowed on your eating plan, like anything that is part of your normal diet, go to that. I don't think we need to have snacks. It's a snack is always an emotional event, so it feeds the addiction, just in a different way. Beans fuck me up. Excellent. Or not. I never actually had a problem, like a visible problem. I'm not one who gets gas from eating a lot of beans or whatever. It's never been a problem of mine, but I know too much about what they contain that I don't want to touch beans really. Farmers One has glyphosate free and gluten free and sprouted oatmeal. Okay, thanks for that. Please link this group or URL. Thank you. I think it's should be in the description. If it's not, hang on, let me find it. So Not that one. Dum dum dum. Here we go. Okay. I'm posting it in the comments now, and I'll get it up on the screen when I get to it. But if you want to copy and paste it, then you get it from there. Um, okay. I like dipping pork rinds in over easy eggs. Not sure I would like that. I'm one of these strange people. I don't like mixing food a lot. I like eating them separately so that I can taste each food on its own. So I could eat them together, just like breaking the habit. Well, kind of cleaning my palate in between, so that every time I take a bite of the previous thing is kind of like almost a new thing. My brain is rediscovering how nice it was. I'm a little bit weird. Question: do you have any fav people or channels that you like for disordered eating? Um, I mean, I have over the years I've been mentioning him a lot lately, Gabor Mate. I've been listening a lot to what he has to say. Um, and but that is not for disordered eating, that is for addictions in general, and I find it very fascinating. I like Joan Ifland, but I disagree with her on some points, and I think she is the one who wants to bubble wrap people who with food addiction. And in my opinion, that is disempowering people because I think that you can actually learn to rewire your brain and then go about and be confident in the world and actually do the stuff that you want to do and not avoid food and situations and things like that. So I don't agree with everything that she says, but she's very good at, the addiction part of the thing. Who else? I have been I was exposed to Bitten Johnson a very long time ago. I'm not entirely sure what she's up to now. So I don't actually listen to a lot of other people. Because I find that a lot of people that are working with addictions, they are pathologizing people with food addiction. And I don't think that is useful. I want to empower people to find within them to change their behavior and change their brain wiring so that they can actually do what they want to do and be free from the addiction and the addictive behaviors. So I haven't come across any other addiction or disordered eating person that talks about this. And I think that's a shame. So I don't want to do what they're doing. And I want to form my own opinions. So I'm learning more about how things are working and then how to change it. So it's more about me just learning about the condition rather than following other people. Would some fermented vegetables be a better option if someone just wanted something different from time to time? Yeah, sure. With the caveat that fermented vegetables are usually quite high in histamines. So if you are histamine intolerant, then that would probably be a problem for you. But many people also say that they feel better when they eat those kind of things, when they have some fermented foods of some kind. So it probably depends on who you are. If your gut bacteria are going to agree with having the addition of that or not, because some people are just like thriving because they needed those bacteria, and for some people it fucks them up because they didn't need those bacteria and they already had better bacteria for them that made them feel better anyway. So it's kind of hard to know because everyone has different gut bacteria and we know so little about it that it would be really hard for anyone to actually say, yeah, this is going to be great for you because we just don't know. Mm. This is true, Jim. Not hitting the like button is the biggest cause of continued cravings. So, like this stream, hit the like button if you are on YouTube. If you are on Facebook, that might be harder to do, but please go and do that. Otherwise, you're going to have cravings all day long. Oh my god, like painful and horrendous smelling. I could go to war with my bean gas. Right, Steph. I hope that you're not eating beans at all, but if you do and I come for a visit, just let me know so I will not step inside. Having a few sleep problems lately. Our remaining cat is missing his sister. He keeps caterwauling in the wee hours. Poor little baby. Wakes me up 3 to 4 times per night. I'm having to have short naps in the afternoon. Oh, yeah. You know what? I've, I don't know if many people have tried this, but I find it interesting that, I mean, back in the days when we didn't have artificial lights, people would just go to bed whenever it got dark, and then it would go up when it wasn't. And we would also have more of a like a biphasic or polyphasic sleeping. So we would sleep for a while, then wake up and maybe do something, and then go back to bed again. Like, it's not an unusual way of doing it, but getting used to it might be a problem. So if you can get a few hours of undisturbed sleep so that you're getting that deep sleep and you then get the hours of sleeping in, I think you will be fine. I'm not saying this is the ideal thing to do, and it's kind of annoying when you get woken up and maybe the cat is gonna go on for half an hour or whatever. It would drive me crazy, honestly. But if you can think about this as not being catastrophic, that's probably gonna help you just relax a little bit about it. I'm a snacker, and indeed, when I eat zero carb, I don't need to. Yeah, that sounds what I thought. Yeah. Okay, here it is. That's the group. So you can also go to Facebook and just search for Life Beyond Cravings, and you'll find it. Oh no, I'm not getting the notification for your lives late again. Damn it. I don't know why. Ah, so your 9-year-old is like me, only one food at a time. It's like if you put pineapple on a pizza, I find that disgusting. So what I would do, like when I ate pizza, I would eat the pineapple first, and then I would eat the pizza because I like pineapple. I just don't like it on the pizza. It's like they really should not mix. And I always kind of pick out all the things. Minda, strange. The only comments I can see are from Steph. The reason for that is because you and Steph are watching this on Facebook. The rest of the people are watching it on YouTube. I'm dual streaming in both places at once. So if you're on YouTube, you will see all the YouTube comments and they will not see the Facebook comments. Whereas the Facebook comments will, or if you watch it on Facebook, you will only see those. So that's why that is. So you just have to take my word for it when I put it up on the screen. I used to eat beans with no problem, so I thought. I was unaware that beans could be a big part of my IBS. We were always told to eat more starch and fiber for IBS. Crazy. Yeah. And we're still being told to eat more carbs and especially fiber for IBS, which is completely crazy. There are like studies out there that show that it will make it worse, and eating zero fiber makes it better. And still, it's just we're so stuck in our old ways of thinking or what we've been told that no one is prepared to go to war and change those guidelines. And that, yeah, I don't know. It's doing my head in. I can't even think about it because it makes me upset, and then I'm just like rah all day. So that's not what I do anymore. I stop thinking about those things and just work with feeling more zen. Barbara, how do we say that? Buonasera from Italy. Buonasera. I have to practice my Italian. Oh, buonasera. I don't know. Good to have you here. And I know that you don't understand me. Barbara is such a lovely person. She is in my group, and she's just the most hardworking person ever. She doesn't understand English, and she's using Google Translate to go through my course. She's just, I don't know. Like, if you want to get something done, you need to get the mindset that Barbara has. And if you speak Italian, go and talk to her because she can probably tell you how she's thinking now to be able to do all of these things. She's just amazing. Pim promotes self-empowering techniques. Works very well for me. Yes, Kathy. Kathy has a very busy brain, and I love your brain. And I think like when Kathy is getting everything under control, she will be like unstoppable. I think you're also amazing. You know what? Everyone is so different, and but all our brains are really amazing, and they are always interesting. I love to see how people are thinking because it's just fascinating to me how different human brains have kind of created different wirings and different things that they focus on and how they see things and how they solve problems. And yeah, it's just fascinating. And still, we can use the same techniques to actually change the wiring. We just need to find out how to do that. I think that's amazing. Yes, it's also the leading cause of attacks by the non-liker obliterator beast. Yes, so hit the like button if you're on YouTube. Um, Carnivore has been the very best for hobbies IBS. Nothing else has worked as well. He has suffered for years. Fibers make him very sick. Yeah. I mean, there is, I think there are some people, very few people, who maybe get super like constipated if they remove all the fibers at once because they have a what we call a lazy colon. It's just like it's used to having all those fibers and it's just like, okay, there's so much shit here that we need to push it out, literally. And when you then remove all the fiber, there's going to be so little that it doesn't get the stimulation, and it just takes a while for the intestines to catch up with that. But most of the time, people who just cut out the fibers, they are doing so much better with just removing everything and not getting that pain or even like bleeding and all of that. You're welcome, Minda. Um, Steph is always busy, and she's always here. Is a nice combination. Like, haha, Minda Simmons. I didn't know. Laughing my ass off. I'm on the phone cleaning the fridge right now. See? Can you not come here and clean my fridge? Because that would be really good. It's a little bit messy. Vicky too. Kathy, I was like that too. The more fiber I ate, the more issues with IBS, IBD, constipation. Yep. Oh, greetings from Istanbul. Hello, hello. Far away from me, anyway. Yes, I love that Barbara. Barbara is a is a true trooper. Yes, she really is. But when you want something, you freaking want it, and she freaking wants it. Um, okay, sorry, that was cat talk. Kathy, yes, I do have a very busy brain. It's my nemesis and my strength. Yep. I just have to get it redirected in a very healthy way. Yes. Yoo like marked. If you have not liked the stream, do it. We want many likes. I can't even see the likes from in here, but I shall trust you. Willow, hi Pim. I was thinking the other day about nutrition. I bet not even 1% of 1% know how the body turns food to energy and why some foods are better. And I would say less than 0.1 of 0.1% know the next step. Um, what do you mean with the next step? The next step you talk about in the mitochondria, or are we talking about? You lost me. I'm completely lost. Maybe I don't even know. Maybe I'm not part of the 0.1 of the 0.1%. We shall see what is happening. So true. It's so deliberating. Yeah, absolutely. No fiber for us. And that was from Ireland. Yes. Do you have your little leprechaun hat? I love Irish. I love listening to it. It's nice. Dr. Gonzo, I have a weird question. Does plant and nut oils trigger bile release as well as animal fats? I wonder if that's why vegans that eat some fat still get gallbladder issues. Yeah, it should do. But the thing is that I think vegans and um, vegans, what do we say? Vegans that eat some fat, there are other issues. I mean, there's so many anti-nutrients, so many oxalates, so many everything that can contribute to that. Yes. Okay. Yes, in the mitochondria, I do. I mean, I've been studying biochemistry and I'm like, I can't remember that shit. So I'm probably not part of that zero point 0.1 of the zero point 0.1 anymore. Like if you ask me now, I wouldn't be able to just tell it. If I see a picture, it's like, oh yeah, yeah, that's what it is. Because it's not any knowledge that I'm using on a daily basis, and I don't go around and think about it because I don't find it very important anymore. Which is funny because when I studied nutrition, I wanted to study molecular nutrition because I want to know how everything works in the body molecular, like on a molecular level. Uh, So my interest has always been in understanding how the body works. And then when I understood it, I was like, cool, okay, now I know. But I've forgotten all about the details, but I still remember, like, okay, this is why we should be eating this, and this is why we should be doing that, because it just feeds into that. But the whole process, like breaking it down in the middle, I'm like, not going to spend brain space on remembering that, which is funny. So now when I've learned it, I'm like, okay, I'm not interested anymore because I already know it, or I knew it, and I know that this is how it works. And if you want to tell me that it works differently than what I learned, that's fine. I will listen to you and I'll try to remember what happened. But I can't say I couldn't get it up on screen now and just start drawing little mitochondria and all the electron transfers here and there and whatever water is going out there and blah blah blah. I couldn't do that. Specifically, fried fat will activate the bile. My experience. Okay, I can't say yes or no to that. I don't know what mechanism that would be that would release more bile if you are eating fried fat. That's my point. Everyone talks about nutrition and nobody know about it. Well, yes, absolutely. I agree with you. But also I knew about it. So I already formed an opinion on the nutrition based on it. So it doesn't mean that I have to remember everything. But that's fine. Right, tomorrow I open my nutrition practice. Good. Just make sure to get your mitochondria right. Oh no, I started to get a headache again. What do you do when you have headaches, Miss Pagan? And do it now. Maybe I should say it with the Arnold voice. Do it now. I can be contrary. I wanted to eat mescaline salad leaves, so I did. 1 week of pain in a specific area of the descending colon, and I'm contrary no longer about what my body does with leafy green. Yeah. If you have that kind of response, you kind of know. Um, you know that I'm not 100% carnivore. I eat some plant matter every now and then. So I made a minestrone, well, my version of a minestrone soup, which doesn't have any pasta in it or anything, and it was just like a little bit of onion, garlic, bacon, chicken broth, and tomato paste. And I've never had problems with that before, but I ate it, and the next morning I was really stiff around the hips and my lower back, which is a sign of inflammation for me. And I was horrified, and I was like, I have cut out all vegetables, all nightshades, all of that before for longer periods of time, and I've never had a reaction to anything like that. And now I had, so I'm gonna have to try it again at some point because I don't want to have that reaction if I'm having like a little bit of soup. So that's kind of annoying. Um, and I don't want to be scared of eating soup either, but maybe I have to. Were you grain based or sugar based? Because we babies believe that there's a significant difference between the two. When are you talking about? You have to specify that, like when. I've been low carb for like 17 years, so I haven't been eating much grains for 17 years, and when I've been cheating, that's definitely a sugar-based cheating for me, like in the past. Okay, try salt. Get the salt in. This is interesting. I found tart cherry and anthocyanins is a good natural pain relief and really helps my headaches. One company sells it in high doses, nootropics. Okay, I haven't heard about that. Have you heard of vitamin A toxicity? Well, yes. I'm a nutritionist. Um, do you mean like anyone having had it? I have heard of people claiming that they have it. I'm not. What's this dude called that was on Bart channel talking about trying to cut out vitamin A from all the foods because it's causing so many problems? I'm not sure I'm buying into that sort of vitamin A toxicity thing, but I don't know. So I'm not sure what you're asking. Okay, if it's computer screen, just listen, don't look at it. You shall still hear me. For almost 18 and is long past the playing stage, unfortunately. He also has a bit of dementia. My usual solution is to pick him up and bring him to bed with us. Oh, we're talking about cats. Poor baby. 18 is a good age. I still don't understand. We babies. Like, do you mean when I was a baby? I didn't feed myself, but I ate anything and everything, and I was always hungry when I was awake. My mom had to wake me up because I was just sleeping and eating, and I wasn't doing any awake thing at all. So I was quite fat as a baby, mainly because the only thing I wanted to do was sleep and eat. Do I eat liver? Not really. I have been experimenting with making liver pâtés and trying to make them taste good, and I don't know if it was a fluke, but one time I thought it was really good, and I was like eating lots of it. And then I did the same thing again, and I was like, this doesn't taste good to me. And I don't know if it was actually anything different in taste, or if my body was just like, nope, we don't want more liver. We have fueled up on all those nutrients that we needed, and we're done. Can't tell you. So I don't actually like liver, but I do like liver pate that you can buy. Unfortunately, it contains gluten a lot of the time and lots of other things, and it's not the best quality food. That's why I want to make it myself, but I can't get it to taste really good. So yes, yeah, I love liver pate that you can buy as well. It's just that I know that it's not the ideal food because it contains crap, which annoys me. So I need to find a good liver pate that is literally just liver and maybe other meat and fat and some spices. Yeah, I know it's pretty easy to make it. It's just that I can't get it to taste good. And I tried to soak my liver in lemon. I tried to soak it in milk. I tried to soak it in water. And actually, soaking it in water for 24 hours is what actually make it best for me. Like that seems to take it away much better than any of the other bullshit. So, oh yeah, foie gras is really good. I like that. But we don't want to force feed ducks because that's cruel. Have you heard the sad news about Ray Pitt? Yes, I heard something about it, but I don't know any details. You know, I'm living in a little bubble. I do not watch many YouTube videos. Sometimes when people recommend something, I put them on my watch list and I watch them. But I don't go around and scrolling YouTube and listening to all sorts of things all over the place. I don't read news. I don't watch news. I'm kind of really like in my own little world because A, I don't have time. B, it's it doesn't really add anything to my life. It's rather the opposite. And what's C? C is like once you start doing that shit, you are going to waste your time to do that. I'm way too busy to do that. Right, last one. Then I have to go. It's a temporary problem. I see signs of deterioration, so I expect Ford may not be with us for much more than another 6 months. Oh, give him all the love right now. Make him feel good. Okay. Thank you for being here, as usual. Um, Hopefully, I know that some of you who are watching me coaching Jared online on YouTube noticed that there was nothing this week when it was planned because he had to reschedule. We haven't found a time that is working yet, so maybe it will be our normal time on Friday afternoon, evening for most of you. So just check the channel in a day or so. Hopefully, I'll get some time out of him, and we shall be back doing some coaching. So, thank you very much, and have a really good day. And I will see you later. Bye.